Maybe our nation is so subdued, I don't care. Or maybe they don't know what to gather round.
Oh. The last time I went to Sainsbury's, I couldn't find any London Pride there, so...
Are you hungry, Arthur?
You got vodka instead. No, I got on the train, yeah? I've had a long day, Paul. I'm not in the frickin' mood, yeah?
Yeah.
So I got on the train, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do what I haven't done in months. I'm going to get a bottle of wine. I'm going to get some cured meats. Got on the train, guess frickin' what?
What?
It's not twist cap. It's a cork. And I'm like, because I poked the cork through with the keys of my 2006 Renault Clio. Yeah? Which was good enough to get the cork through. But every time I poured the wine, it denied me the wine.
How?
Because the cork always fills a gap.
Oh, I see.
So the first pouring of the wine required a Parker pen to hold the cork in place to pour the wine.
Yeah.
And after that, it was all good. But if I did not own such implements, I'd be a poorer man for it. I tell you.
No, I must find a source for London Pride.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So you got to drink your wine?
Yeah.
Right,
Eventually.
fine. So what made you need alcohol so much?
Yeah, maybe not fit for the podcast.
Okay, Dad, that's for you.
Okay, thanks.
So what is fit for pod? Last time we discussed, do big minds think of abstract things and whatever. So have we got another similar subject for tonight, or do you want to talk about something more directly relevant?
I really don't see, Paul, how the youth of today are to navigate society. I don't see it. So I got on the train today, yeah, and I've got on the carriage. I got on a quiet carriage because it's a quiet carriage, yeah. Opposite me, and this just went sideways. Opposite me was a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children. Well, you know, excuse my French, but what the fuck are you doing? You're not in a quiet carriage. You've got children, yeah.
They're carriages for quiet people.
Exactly. Like, and you have to be exquisitely good. You have to show an incredibly high level, as far as I'm considered, an incredibly high bar to have your children in a quiet carriage. Yeah. Now, to be fair, to give those people their dues, I did not stick around long enough to find what that bar was, because I was just like, nope, straight up, no, I'm not dealing with this. Because down the quiet carriage was all red, which is the signal of seats being booked. And I'm just like, people, am I right?
There's too many of them.
Yeah. But then I looked down the other carriage, which was adjoining the quiet carriage, and it was all green. So I'm like, I can lay my claim here anywhere I want, yeah? So I went down there, put my package, and as I was laying my bag down, this woman, and I don't use this word lightly, Paul, but screamed down the carriage something. It was what the contents of her speech is irrelevant. The fact that she screamed it down the carriage, yeah, looking for some response. And her friends, she did it, then her friend's head bobbed up to look what response was. And I held her gaze. And I held it long enough for her to then dip down, yeah?
Yeah.
And they then named me Stranger Jack after this instance, yeah, because she kept screaming Stranger Jack after this. But I then donned the headphones and listened to Inspector Morse. You know, so I'm in a different realm. Scream as much as you want. Out with self-love. Because,
So she's screaming at you?
No, occasionally.
Why? Why is she engaging with you?
Well, this is... I mean, why feel the need to fill a carriage with your voice?
So is this just a lunatic woman who stepped onto the train?
She craved attention. Lunatic, I don't know.
Oh,
craved attention because the only reason you would want to engage the entirety of 47-seater carriage is for attention.
And do you know what she was screaming about?
No, because I am 50 and she is younger than I, and she was saying things I don't understand.
Right.
So it's terminology I'm not aware of.
Right.
And the phrase 6'7" wasn't in there, so I'm at a loss. Yeah.
How old was she?
No idea, because obviously the back headrest, I could not see her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but guessing by her friends between 17 and 20. Because her friend raised her head and looked at me, and I made sure that it was a disapproving look.
Do you think
but
she was drunk?
Like, huh?
Do you think she was drunk?
No, she just craved attention.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to don the headphones because I'm sure you're not going far. You're probably getting off at Cardiff or something. But it's just like, well, what are you trying to achieve? Well, what is the aim here? Mm-hmm. What's the point here? Well, what's the final verdict on your incessantly shouting and screaming and saying things that makes your friend laugh moronically? Yeah, it's moronic.
Yeah, she's feral. Some people are feral.
Yeah.
Mm. But so she's shouting, "You're strange,
but
Jack."
I think you agree, Paul. I've travelled that line many, many times. It's the first point I've encountered that. And I thought, and it's weird because, you know, you're like, the only reason people like that get away with that, behaviour is because people like me don't do anything. Yeah. Now, there's a famous case in Thailand. Famous case? Bullshit. It's not famous. No one knows of it. I'm going to tell you now. There's a case in Thailand of a bunch of people behaving badly in a motor vehicle. Yeah. And a guy pulled them over to one side. He was an unmarked vehicle, yeah, and they were behaving atrociously in a very un-Thai way. Now Thailand is an incredibly civilized country, yeah, and there's things you do and there's things you don't do. Like when I went out with my Thai friend, he would always be catering to my needs, and it was incredibly hard for me to get to what he would like as well, so that we can be on the same level. It's like, no, it is unacceptable. You're a guest in my country, and I will cater to all your needs. And it was a level of hospitality we're unaccustomed to in the West, yeah? Right. So that's Thailand, yeah?
Yeah.
This guy, he pulled over these 4 people in a vehicle who were pissing around, causing shit and stuff like that. Turns out, he's kind of wrong guy, yeah, because he's ex-military. So he gets out, yeah, leans in their vehicle, slams on their dashboard a 9mm gun like that,
yeah,
and says, "We've got a problem here, you know, can I help you with how civilized society works? Do you need an explanation here? Can I help you in any way like that?" They were quiet very, very quickly. He then removed the gun from the dashboard. He can only do this because he's military. And then returned to his vehicle, and those people then returned to civilian life, yeah? But I was just the same person at the front of this carriage. I mean, like, who are you? What are you doing? What are you hoping... But penultimately, what are you hoping to attain? You're obviously lacking some kind of recognition in your life. And you're hoping to achieve that by screaming down a carriage. Yeah?
Well, she might have been intoxicated with something. She might just be having mindless fun. Get on a train, start screaming, my friend will laugh. That's it.
Not for like 40 minutes.
Oh no, 40 minutes is a mental illness.
Yeah, it carried on for some kind of length of time.
Yeah, no one finds anything funny for 40 minutes. There's something wrong with her.
The problem is the fact that no one rose to it. Now, I would have rose to it, but I would have had no one to back me in the situation. And I don't know who she knows. God, this could have been someone got on at Port Talbot or Neath or anywhere.
Yeah.
That would have just like caved my head in because I dare... you know, ask for civility in a carriage on a train, you know?
Well, she's probably waiting for someone to do exactly that. So she can
TikTok it.
Well, so she can kick off even more. So you would have just ignited the fire by asking her to calm down. What you need is a man with a 9mm gun.
But isn't
No,
there-
what you need is the ability to have a chart of unacceptable behaviour, and if you breach that, a conductor can eject you from the train. As simple as that.
but
No, because let's be honest, Paul, a 9mm charter's not going to come into force in this country. There's no weapon. Like, you have to telephone ahead to get armed police to attend a scene, and then you have to confirm that they need to release the weapons from the boot of their trunk. We live in a very, very civilised country, and we should not cave in to unreasonable people to have the issuances of firearms because people are just idiots. Otherwise, you'd be spray painting the wall with idiots. Let's face it, because they're all over the place. Yeah. So I think that the ability to phone up and ask for alarm response in a certain area is good, and I think a confirmation of them to actually don their weapons, a confirmation with HQ is that is checkpoints in the issuance of lethal force. Yeah. And she did not warrant lethal force. All she warranted is an injection from the carriage at a station earlier than she deemed, yeah? So that she's like, I'm now screwed. Because not only that, he's going to phone her and go, look, there's this, and he'll do a picture and all that and send it ahead, and she now can't get on a train. And now she's got to phone someone, and the family's going to go, why are you at this station, not this station? And they're going to, why? Why are you not there? No, she's got to deal with that, yeah?
Breach of the peace is a criminal offence.
Isn't there a phone number? I mean, on tube trains, there's a phone number.
Well, no, there's one for the police, 101, isn't there?
Yeah, non-emergency.
Yeah. No, I think...
But you should have trained staff. The thing is, I don't know what's legal, with regards to touching someone, whether they would be able to physically throw her off the plane or throw her off the train.
The funny thing is...
As long as someone came to the carriage, someone working for the train company...
The funny thing is, I'll actually make that inquiry to the people that work on the train. I'll be like, what happens in this situation? Because it was completely foreign to me. I've never got on a carriage where someone feels the necessity to scream down the length of the carriage for attention. It's just sad.
Well, if she did that on a plane, she would get thrown off the flight. They would land the plane at the nearest airport,
they'd eject
dump her off, and then get on the train. It depends. You need a member of staff or a police officer.
Yeah.
But if you go up there telling her, "Oh, can you please keep your voice down," that will just make her even worse. If you ask her to calm down, that will just make her even worse.
I think you just ring it in.
Yeah. Member of staff.
But
So did that?
But obviously, borderline mental illness. Yeah.
Oh no, she's mentally ill. If she was doing that for 40 minutes, she's mentally ill.
Yeah.
Or on drugs or alcohol. If she's like that without substance misuse, she's got mental problems.
It's unfortunately there's a proportion of the youth today that feel the need for attention. They need it they have a need. They because
there's a lot of adults like that.
if you're good at what you do and you carry on about your day and you just kind of blend in, you to some that can be seen as a lack of purpose. And kind of raising your head about the precipice. And unfortunately, we've got a society that celebrates a spectacle. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with celebrating spectacle. It's like
there is definitely something.
Yeah, but the thing is, a
if
lot
the
of
spectacle's
people.
worth celebrating, like if someone I watched Swansea. Oh God damn it! I watched Swansea's last game of the season. I was right behind at the net, and I saw him take a free kick, and I was like, no way. It's not. It's Swansea. Come on. It's not going to go. And God damn, he nailed the top corner. And that is a spectacle. And the stadium went mental. And it went mental because that guy achieved the pinnacle of what he's supposed to do within the bounds of his career. He got it in the top quarter. It's amazing.
Yeah, but if that's the yardstick for what was
but
a spectacle...
screaming to say I'm amazing does not make you amazing.
No, but what you're doing, you're taking the pinnacle of human achievement at one end and someone who has nothing to offer on the other. There's everything in between.
Oh, very much.
We can't just have spectacles of people being the pinnacle of their career. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough spectacles to entertain us enough.
Well, forget entertaining.
You can have an open mic night on a Monday.
Forget you should be able to gather around and watch someone not attain the pinnacle of that thing, but apply themselves to try to create something.
A spectacle can be anything entertaining for whatever reason. It doesn't need to be an achievement, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a world record breaker.
No, I mean, it's just that these people that demand attention when people don't want it, people want peace and quiet, and they're demanding attention. That's the problem, because they're making other people suffer. Now, so there's nothing wrong. I mean, you can be someone who craves attention, and if you go into an environment where people want to pay attention to you, and you can offer them something worth paying attention to, you can lead a very successful, fulfilling life that provides a good service for people. Let's say you're a attention seeker. Well, fine. Then become someone who's on stage doing something every night, and you're the kind of person.
You mean do something worthy of the attention
that people want. The thing is, this woman on the train, nobody wanted to pay attention to her. They were only paying attention to her because she was forcing them to.
No, I'm paying attention to her.
Well, they were having to.
On the headphones.
Well, you were paying attention to her even though you didn't want to.
I mean, when I am.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the problem. It drove you to
the
drink.
funny thing is the duality of the situation, because I went into the quiet carriage and I saw a mother and father and two children. I thought, oh, God, Christ, no, I'm not travelling all the way to London. With a family with two kids. And also the seat next to me was taken, someone next to someone. So I thought, right, screw this. The carriage further down, that's all green lights, no one's booked anything, is going to be better. And you know what? I was wrong. And
this is a one-off.
And do you know how many people, Paul, admit they're wrong?
No, I don't.
It doesn't happen, does it?
But no, it doesn't happen as much as it should.
Yeah, it should happen more. But the problem is everyone presumes that if you admit you're wrong, you cede ground.
We've done this on an earlier podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? And it really, really annoys me. Because it's not... I don't know, it just does. Because I will happily see that I'm wrong in something. But it only works if you're both honest and in the seeking of the truth. And we have already covered this.
Yeah, I think making a joke out of it when someone is unable to.
All right, do you want a joke?
Wrong. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a joke for you.
Go on.
Okay. Teacher says to a pupil, name me something you're not good at that begins with N.
Right.
Do you know what the student says?
No.
Spelling. That is a good joke. There we go. Who says I don't come here with nothing?
You see, Arthur, that is a valuable spectacle. You made yourself a spectacle and you gave value. See, that's a good spectacle, and you didn't achieve the pinnacle of your ability either.
I don't know what the pinnacle of my ability is, Paul. I'm an elastic band that contracts and expands to the situation. I don't think people learn from their experience and their ability to adapt to a situation. I can walk. I've been to Seven Sisters on the roundabout in Swansea, yeah, which is like the roughest pub going, and grabbed a pint with Leo. He got a Coke. I got a pint, and we sat down and we enjoyed ourselves, and it was fine, yeah. And Rich and I walked into an incredibly posh place round the corner from where he goes to the Globetrotters. Yeah, oh my God, you should see this place, yeah? Fit in like a glove. I don't think people realise that people don't adapt. People don't change. People aren't chameleons. People don't meld themselves to the situation. to make the best of themselves. Yeah? To extract the most value from something. They are like, I am what I am, and if you don't like it, you can ... And it's like, well, like, it's just there. It's just there. What you've said is there. You have ... dotted yourself. You straight up ... dotted yourself, yeah? There is not... The only thing, Paul, I cannot learn from is repetition. There is everything.
That is the number one teaching tool.
I can learn from fucking everything. I can learn from anyone in any corner of society that has done any job in any sector, in any industry, in any language. I will engage, I will talk, and I will try to understand.
Yeah.
But when it repeats itself, you're fucked.
But repeating is how you commit things to memory. People learn primarily through repetition.
For yourself.
So if you were learning a language,
don't bloody project it.
Arthur, you have a unique brain if you do not learn through repetition.
Yes, but Paul, that's internalising. You've got the internal self and the external self. How many friends have you come across? How many people have you come across that say something like, oh, I should have kept that to myself? Because yes, that's your internal voice. Yeah? And through your art, you don't go and project your art. You project the result of your art on people. You don't project the constant cycle of refining what you do as an artist on people. You project your output of what you do as an artist. Same with Richard, same with myself. We all do it. It's what we've learned, what we've become, the amalgamation of the experience we've had at the hands of others is who we are to other people. And I will never go to someone with judgment. I will always go to someone with inquiry. Yeah? But my God, if you come back to me with repetition, I will move on in a heartbeat. Yeah? Because repetition shows stagnation. Yeah? You show you don't... Unless, okay, whoa.
Is it...
Whoa. Let me clarify. Yeah? If I go to a Japanese swordsmith, yeah, and he goes, this is the way I sharpen a blade, yeah, and then I ask, how do you sharpen a blade? And he explains it again, and I'm like, wait, no, there's a little bit more. Because, okay, Japanese blades require multiple foldings. So they hammer out the steel, they fold it, they put it back in the thing, they hammer it down, they fold it, they hammer it down, they fold it, they hammer it down, and then sharpen it, yeah? Right. So if there's a little bit more there to be found, I will dig to get beyond the repetition, to understand. And that also shows to them, I'm not willing to accept that answer. No, because I know there's more there. Yeah? So it's imbued upon me to build rapport with that person and to show personal interest and dedication to be there, to ask that question again and again and again and not accept the answer, yeah? So there are certain situations where that happens. But my God, there's a difference between a woman screaming down a carriage and a Japanese bloody sword maker. Yeah, so there's a difference between the two. There's people you come across in life and you're like, you're interested. You know what? You're worth. And I've got people in my life that looked at me and they looked at they gazed upon me. They surmised who I am based on the way that I speak, the language that I use, gait, posture, stance, language, linguistic ability, tonality, everything, dress code, everything. 70% of the communication is non-verbal. And they were like, he's a dick. He's just a straight up dick, And then they were like, then their communications was like, I'm talking to a dick, yeah? But I looked at them and went, nah, you're sound. The problem is you think I'm a dick. So it's imputed upon me. I'm going to break through the fact that you think I'm a dick, yeah, and I've got a
How
very
do you
good
know
friend.
they think that?
Huh?
How do you know they think that?
Use of language.
Right. So, I mean,
Usually,
people...
you're the butt of most jokes,
I mean,
even in Spanish.
most people, I think, realise that first impressions are often wrong.
That's been proven inaccurate. 70% of all first impressions remain, unfortunately. And it's easier. It's like cognitively easier to rely on your first impressions than it is to evolve them into something, a true representation of that individual.
That's a sad situation.
Yes, but can you not see it happen?
I can imagine it,
If someone cannot wait 30 seconds for a video before swiping down, they definitely cannot evolve their first impressions of you.
I don't think it's... I mean, I can imagine that first impressions
Well,
last, and
wish
they
we had
take...
someone here that was like younger than us.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm sure first impressions is a strong impression, but I've revised my impressions of people.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a conversation with them, during conversation, your opinion
You evolve
of them
it.
changes.
By the time you're talking to them, you've already had your first impression.
Well, just the first time you see them.
Yeah, so as soon as you start talking, you're, like you say, it will evolve.
Evolve, yeah.
So the first impression is really just
we're living,
a grounding
we're living in a
point.
society that's foreign to us.
Yeah, you just
But
see their
young people are prepared to pay 30% more to get in a taxi where they don't have to talk. 50% of young people have never asked a woman out on a date. They've only ever done it through a dating app.
When you say young people, how old?
Which is like, 18 to 20.
Wow.
Yeah. 50% of them have never gone up and like faced rejection in the face.
Well, because nowadays you can be accused of all sorts of rubbish. If you approach a woman, it can be seen as some sort of aggressive attack, because we live in this hands-off society where everyone has personal, precious space and all that rubbish.
No, I think it's the fact that if the opportunity for that interaction,
I mean, I know what you
for
mean.
myself, like I'm not a good sample, but I'll tell you my sample. My sample was we had dances at schools. So one side of the room there's loads of girls, the other side of the room there's loads of boys. Yeah, and you could go up and ask a girl if they'd like to dance. It was just very weird, and it was just like there's no other word. There's no other word. It was weird. Let me finish, Richard. Yeah. So that was my example, yeah. But you could always go and ask a girl and then go and ask another girl. But by the time you ask one girl and you failed, it's just all gone totally.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Thailand model.
Yeah, but the thing is from that, it leads to internal reflection of like who am I and what am I presenting and like now I've got a degree of confidence. I can go and ask someone, what are you doing? Do you want to go for a walk? How's it going for you? And I am confident in who I am, but I would never be confident in who I am had I not faced adversity. The only thing in my life, Paul, that has educated me is adversity.
Only thing.
Yes, because comfort does not educate me. Comfort proves that, well, comfort is just comfort. There's no education in comfort. But given the slap, given the rejection, and given the nowhere to go, you're left with you. Yeah? And fuck me, that's uncomfortable. Yeah? Because if you don't like you, and that's not a fault on yourself, yeah? Because let's face it, all advertising is on, you better do this, you better do that, you're not good looking, and you got 6 packs and boobs in your face, and that's how you sell shit, yeah? So like you got a whole industry saying you're not good enough, yeah? And you got to wipe that from your memory, and you got to dig into books and read philosophy and all that kind of stuff, and you've got to come from the ground up, yeah? But rejection is a very important part of that, yeah? Because I'll give you a classic example. Massive turning point in my life. I went to an old boys meetup from my school, yeah? I went to where they meet up. It's a freaking bar or some shit, yeah. And they all had a meeting down in the basement, yeah, of the Old Boys Society. And they were like, yeah, come along early, we'll say hi, we'll get together, it's not a problem, grab a drink, all that kind of stuff. Rocked up, they said, yeah, they're downstairs. Wiki went downstairs. And the guy at the front door said, yes, what's your name? I said, my name. And the guy said, yeah, they're having a meeting. I said, yeah, but they're my mates. And he went, no, they're having a meeting. And I went, oh, ouch. So that's the in and I'm the out. So I went upstairs, necked a couple of whiskies, and then it went on to other places. We ended up at a bar outside the Barbican, yeah? And I remember I went to the bar. I've got a whole nother story about something else about this, but it's massively more interesting than this one. But I went to the bar, got a whiskey, and I'm like, and you're left there, and it's sad. And it's isolating. Because it's you. Wait, and the world. And there's nothing, there's no mediation, there's no in between, there's no interpretation. You're by this bar, by yourself, buying a drink, and there's no one else there. I had my friend Giles that brought me, but he was somewhere else, yeah. And you're just like, you're trying to get a grip on normal. You're trying to assess what is the baseline of civility. Okay? So get a thing like that. And there's a girl next to me. Oh, she's tidy. She's really nice. She's wearing high heels. She's really nice, boy. I like that. That's tidy, yeah? So I said to her, because I thought I'd take a shot. And and it was one of these bars that's all hard corners. Nothing soft, yeah? Very modern bar, very chic. And I said to her, I don't know, because there's a twig coming out the wall. And I said, I don't know if that twig is an art piece or a light switch. I thought that's quite a funny, kind of line, kind of intro. And that's a conversation starter. Do you know what? She looked at me and she made no attempt to disguise that she looked at me in the eyes, looked me up and down, tutted, and walked off. And I'm just like, I'm already alone, motherfucker. I do not need this shit. Yeah? And I'm like, and it was at that point I realised that the only journey is to be had within. Yeah? If I can find something external to the journey within, that's great. But if not, the journey lies within. Because it just like, literally, what the shit?
We're brainwashing.
What the shit?
We're brainwashing women to think that any kind of approach is a creepy thing. Oh, this creepy man asked me this creepy man asked me that.
Oh, wait. You've got to clarify. The ability to start a conversation
is brainwashed into women to be a creepy thing.
How can you start a conversation?
I know. This is as you just experienced.
No, but I don't know if I was seeing this creepily. All I know is she looked me in the eyes, looked down at my shoes, then looked back up again. So I presume she took me in my totality, i.e. shirt or jumper or jacket or shoes or whatever, and then surmised by my attire who I was.
I don't think so.
Like, massive fuck you.
Massive
fuck you.
I think
just what I wear is not who I am. Yeah.
I think what happened was that because you approached her in a perfectly reasonable way, in my opinion, she decided that's threatening or creepy. I mean, I might be wrong. This is what I suspect. And that looking up and down at you, that was all performative. She'd already decided. She was just doing that.
Oh, you think she already assessed the situation?
She knew she wasn't checking you out. I think she's already... all that looking up and down, that was just an insult.
Damn.
You could
Damn! God damn! I was assessed and thrown onto the trash heap of society. I was disgusted. I was like... who's the doll in Toy Story? Like, I was like him, thrown on the heap,
I think you were assessed the minute you opened your mouth, and you could have looked like Brad Pitt she would have done exactly the same thing. The up and down look.
Balls.
And she...
Absolute balls.
It was an insult.
Brad Pitt would have got something different. Why don't you think about what I just said, comment, assessment top to bottom, and then report, and think about what I just said, okay? So I made a jovial gesture to an ornament.
An ornament? About an ornament, the twig.
About an ornament, yeah. I induced a conversation, I'd say, I suppose. Start the conversation.
Yeah.
Start the conversation, yeah. Looked at head to toe, head,
yeah.
tutted, walked away.
Yeah, that was all an insult.
Now wait. I'd like you, Paul, because I respect you. I very much respect you, okay? I'd like you to think about this before you reply, because it requires considerable consideration, because this is, and now this is not indicative of anything, because I brought this up, this is the only time this ever happened, yeah? And it was shattering to me as a person, shattering that someone could do that. A fellow person of my species could do that to me, okay? Now I want you to take it. No, it was. It really was. It was massively impactful on who I am, and feeds into who I am now. But I want you to think and take a second. I don't want your answer, Paul. I want your thinking answer. I don't want your now answer. I want your thinking answer.
I'll pause and I'll think.
Yes, and more importantly is be comfortable in bloody silence, and I can get a drink. Right? So think.
What am I supposed to be thinking about?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What? Jesus Christ! What the scenario you just described with the woman? All right, I'm thinking about it. Now, what do you want me to do? Assess what I think happened?
But this is this.
Because I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, okay, wait. This is implied that your assessment of the situation is instantaneous.
All right.
Are you so sure of your instantaneous result of what I've described that you can commit it to recording?
It's not instantaneous. I've been thinking about it for the last 5 minutes while you've been talking about it.
Okay, yes, that I admit. Right. Okay, then I'll see the ground to you. Go on.
I think if you'd have done that in Thailand, you'd have got a completely different response.
Hey, they want money in Thailand.
Even if it was a man and you weren't in a bar, we have a rude default in this country.
Oh, a rude default.
Yeah. To strangers.
A rude default.
To strangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally have not experienced that. What I've described is my first interaction with what you would call a rude default.
Yeah.
Can you give me examples of where you've had a rude default?
I can give you an example where I've given a rude default, if
Balls
you like.
to that.
You want one where I've received a rude default?
Yes, I want at least 3. Yeah? Come on, this has got to be factual.
I mean, most of them are
I'm distraught, Paul, to hear that you've been rude to someone. Richard, leave the room. Cover your ears. Unbelievable. You've been rude to someone, Paul. What the shit?
Rude's actually... no, hostile default. I'll change it to hostile default. Because we feel threatened. We're not as open as they are in Thailand. In Thailand, your default reaction to a stranger approaching you is, hey, how's it going? In England, a stranger approaches you, the default is I'm being threatened by something unless I've reason to think that it's not threatening. But the default position is to think this is an enemy approaching.
Yeah, like I mean, I
can give you examples if you want, but
I don't have anything to counter that because my interactions are saying thank you to the bus driver and getting to work, and I'm around my colleagues, and then I'm around you guys. So I have a very small circle. So I have nothing to add to this.
All right, have you done similar things like this, telling the lady about a twig, with other women where it's gone differently? Have you ever approached a woman and she's been instantaneously welcoming?
It wasn't approaching a woman.
Well, you went up, you said to her, is that
I
Twigger
did not
likes?
when I was next to her at a bar, and it was awkward
All right.
because it was quite.
Have you had
trendy.
an equivalent situation to that where her response has been positive?
That is the only negative interaction I've had.
So okay,
And
so
we're going back 24 years. So yeah, it's a long time. So, but the reason it sticks with me is because it made me who I am.
see,
No, I just think you don't know why she said it. She did. You don't know the background. You know absolutely nothing. I'd have just turned around and walked away.
I did.
Okay, well,
I didn't have bloody much of an option.
Don't think about it. Say, okay, ask someone else. I mean, this is.
Yes, but Richard, I'm brought up to perceive civility. If someone strikes up a conversation with you, the minimum. Okay, let's say she is horrific debt work. Maybe just got fired. Boyfriend's left her. Got to move out of flat. Yeah, the minimum you can say is that my friend's over there. I've got to go and see her. I mean, like civility still protects you from unbridled rudeness.
but the thing is, you have said that you've had similar situations before where it's gone differently. So you are always going to get the odd one.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Okay, so maybe an outlier.
Like you don't like Dad said, there might be something uniquely going on with that woman. She might be.
The problem is like I've never been so rudely treated in my entire life.
It's not that bad.
It is, mate.
She looked you up and down, tutted and walked off. She was doing a diva thing. That's all it was. You know, some women, and like I say, she might have had a couple of drinks. You know,
Or she might be waiting for a boyfriend.
But the funny thing is that like if that happened to me today, not a problem. Absolutely not a problem.
Yeah.
If I try to start a conversation and you deem that I am immaterial and less than scum, and you walk off, that projects on you more than it does me, and I realise that now. But that comes with age. When you're younger, you're more susceptible to that, and you question, like, what have I done? Who am I? What have I done to deserve this?
You need self-confidence.
Yes, but Richard, I didn't have that at my age. What the frick are the kids nowadays got, you know? They can't even remove themselves from the screen to actually go up and say, "You alright? How's it going? What are you up to?" They're like, you know, they will pay 30% more to not have communication. They'll pay more for isolation.
I think we've put them in that position. I don't think it's just the screens are making them lack social skills. I think Western society is encouraging us to be
there's a whole thing about the
islands.
loss of third spaces, which I've yet to investigate and I'd be interested to look into. And third spaces are like gyms, like libraries, like, I don't know, video rental stores, which I think should come back because DVDs are awesome. And, you know, HMVs, that kind of thing, you know. The general place where you hang out. Apparently there's been a real loss of them. Because of Amazon, all that kind of stuff, you know, because of the fact you can order it online, you can get it direct to your door, so the spaces die, you know. I just read an article in the week about the fact that the gay scene in Paris no longer exists. It has died. It's not like there's one or two living on life support. It's gone. It's disappeared. It's evaporated because of Grindr, because of Tinder, because of all of these apps. So these people can now hook up without the awkwardness of a bar. But the problem is
money, £10 a pint.
Well, the thing is, at least the bar was alive and had activity.
I know, it's terrible.
And it was a hive, you know, of activity. And there was awkward spaces. And you might end up in a fight. And you might make a bad decision. But you lived life. And that's poorly replicated through a screen. But that's in the homosexual, you know, activity of a city in Europe. So it's not.
See, I'll bring everything back to Thailand. That's why Pattaya is so needed, because men go out there and think this is what it used to be like in England, but with nice weather and nice women. We can go from bar to bar. It's this is paradise. You know, we've lost that. We are so isolated now.
Yeah. When I was young, there were dances. You used to go to dance, local dance.
Dancers.
And then
Dancers.
That's what patio is.
You used to
Big
walk
dance.
up to a woman, would you like to dance?
Yeah.
If they say yes, okay. If they say no, fine.
But the funny thing was, back in Richard's time, bless him, when you went and asked a woman to dance, it was an act of civility.
Well,
and the woman, you know what, was allowed to not know. There was no judgment. There was no yes or no. She wouldn't know. You might be fantastic. You might be not fantastic. But she would enjoy a dance with you. She'd enjoy her time with you on the dance floor.
Well, she'd find out about you,
yes,
and you'd find out about her.
Exactly. But you would both enjoy human contact.
Yeah.
Which does not, it's evaporated today. Human contact is evaporated today because there's this fear that you have to come to an instantaneous decision over something. You cannot find out. You must know. And it's just like bollocks, you don't know.
We consider...
How many problems have come from you must know? My God, the amount of problems that come from you must know is bullshit. All you've got to do is go out there and dance and talk and meet and drink and have fun and explore and spend time with. Yeah, and from that evolution of human contact comes an understanding, and then you get waypoints.
Yeah.
And then you can make a better decision. You can't make an informed decision without human... Okay, here's my quote. You cannot make an informed decision without human contact. It is freaking impossible.
We live in a
country... As I said, 70% of all communication is non-verbal.
We consider any kind of physical human contact legally an assault. That's the country we're living in.
Well, okay, I would not get to that level. I'd reduce the level to repulsive.
Oh,
Okay.
but legally,
Huh?
legally, you put your hand on someone, they can do you for assault or fray or something. And I think it's the same is true in America.
I don't know.
This is how overprotective the law is of us, that we can't behave like humans anymore.
I parked my car up today before I came down here, Swansea Station, parked up on Wilkes's Row. Little kid, like 2 or 3 years old. He goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Good, little man. You good?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Give me a high five." Put down like that. Give me a high five. He's 2-3 years old. Yeah, but like that's like
wrong.
he doesn't. He's 2-3 years old. He doesn't accept a barrier. I'm a guy. He's a guy. How's it going? You alright? Yeah, good. Give me 5. Nice. Done.
Happens a little bit in Camden.
That barrier only exists between children and adults. Yeah.
That you get a bit of that in
barrier only
Camden.
exists between adults and adults.
In Camden, people are a bit more laid back about that kind of stuff. I have people high fiving me in Camden or fist bumping in Camden. They just walk past, go hi. I've no idea who they are. We'll probably never meet again. It's nice. Yeah. But it's unique in London.
Dude,
to Camden.
every time I get that, I get off that 1 and 2 to bounce me. Every time I get off, when I get on, I say morning drive. When I get off, I say thank you drive. You know why? That guy's behind Perspex. My God, he's denied human contact. He's denied human contact by that Perspex, just in case something might happen. Yeah, well, something might happen wherever you go. Across the road and something might happen, but he's removed, yeah.
Well,
and he drives a bus, and god damn that shit is lonely. And when I say to him, morning drive, you know what I do? I recognise him as a human. You're a human being, and god damn it, do I recognise you? Yeah, you exist. You're a person. Thanks, drive.
I say,
morning drive.
I say thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
But you know what's weird?
I tell you what's weird. You say drive and not driver.
Oh, maybe it's Welsh then.
Yeah.
But you know what's really weird is I did that when I started coming 18 months ago, yeah?
Yeah.
No, I was the only person.
No, I hear thank you driver a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thank you driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they get off.
Yeah, but do you hear 2 other thank you drives when you get off now? Because I hear them. Yeah. I didn't before. when I first started working and staying with you guys and getting that thing. Didn't hear it. Did not hear it.
Well,
and now, a year later, I hear a lot more. And I also hear them at the school stop. The kids say it to them as well. So there seems to be that want, that need, that base need to connect with other human beings.
I mean, we're not completely unfriendly. You know, Londoners aren't completely unfriendly.
No. But yeah, and I.
But we are largely unfriendly.
No, I don't think you're largely unfriendly. I think it's lost and unknowing of how to connect. And the unknowns are the baselines and the underlying lattice of civility.
I think it's fear of not knowing how to.
Yeah.
Like I say, when I like the only experience I have of other cultures is Thailand. I was amazed at how different it was in Thailand. You know, how you just sort of greet people you don't know. It's not that I didn't know how to do it. It's that there's no stigma about it. There's a stigma in England, particularly London, I think. There's a stigma about that level of openness. And it's a bad thing. But we know it's innate.
I have to say, I can't comment. I can only comment on the 1 and 2 between Muswell Hill and Bounds Green. That's my experience.
Well, I imagine that's fairly typical of the other bus routes.
Well, no, all I can say is my experience of saying Hello Drive a year and a half ago, and who fucking said that guy to that guy, barely recognised him. And most of the kids just tapped the thing, it didn't work, and go, meh, and then got on, yeah? But since I've been on there, now when I get off at Bounds Green, 2 other people say thank you, Drive.
All right.
Yeah, I always say thank you when I get on the bus.
No, I said
I can
both.
actually see him and he can see me. I say thank you.
Yeah.
Right, I do. I always, in some way, acknowledge the driver when I tap.
Yeah, but
I don't necessarily say anything.
I don't know if we're a very good sample in this room. I think we deliberately initiate that because that person has got a very manual, boring job, and they're separated from their culture and their species by a bit of perspex, and that must be very, very lonely because all people do is tap in and walk past you. That's all they do, and that's why I don't like hotels and the hospitality industry. It must be, how do you do the hospitality industry? People arrive in their swarms, say to your mates, hang out, give you a hug and stuff, and then they're fucked off in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's
very hard.
Anyone who works in tourism has that. Anyone who works.
I know, but it's bloody hard.
Well, you just don't make your emotional connections those people. You know what I mean? I imagine it's hard if you've got nothing else other than that in your life. But if you've got, friends outside of work,
yes, and you need to find them.
Yeah.
You
need long-term people in your life.
Yeah, you desperately need to find them.
Well, I find that first of all, the Bowls Club. Maybe some friends at the Wave Cafe or the St James's place on Monday evening, and I see them. We chat over a meal, and we get to know them and say hi and get to know more about them, and so until they're friends, and I think that's one way. Going out to a group, where there's a group, and you can chat about anything, and that's when you might get to know someone, and you say, okay,
I've got
a good friend.
What your dad focused on here is a very important point. The amount of friends I've got that go, I went out there, and I did X, Y, and Z, and funny enough, I got T and N, from the situation. By doing X, Y, and Z, I got S and N, from it. So I can say, well, isn't that weird? You go out there, and and you're civil, and you meet other civil people, and then that evolves to, and I reckon this is my running thesis, and I'm not based on any scientific evidence at all, but we're social creatures, and you remove that element from us, and that's where you get your issues, be they medical or be they mental health, is because we require social contact. We require the atoms coming together and bouncing off each other. We need contact. We need agreement. We need disagreement. We need homogenisation over an understanding over an issue. We need that. We thrive off that contact, and it cannot be mediated. That's another phrase. You cannot mediate contact. Yeah, it's a poor substitute. Television was a poor substitute for the experience, human experience. Yeah, because you required the long shot, the medium shot, and the close up. Yeah, the close up to do human expression. It failed. Yeah, and you've got the same failure in internet devices with the short form media and social networks and stuff. Which is why I've been talking to you, Paul, about whether we can come up with a term that better represents social media, because it's not social media. Digital limb or cancerous to attention or whatever we come up with is a better representation of social media, because it's not social.
Digital networking.
No. A true representation of its ramifications on society.
Well,
what does it do to society? It's not good.
Well, you see, do you think it's exclusively bad?
No, but predominantly bloody bad. Massively sodding bad. Okay, you can have your 2%. I'll give you your 2%. Enjoy your 2%. But your 98% of people on top of the W7 going between Finsbury Park and Muswell Hill are not enjoying life.
But what would they otherwise be doing at that moment?
They're enjoying
contemplating where they are at that point in their career and their life and adjusting accordingly. And they can't do that while they're bloody doom scrolling.
Well, the thing is, they don't have... No one's saying you have to be on your phone. They could do that if they wanted. They have the option.
It's an addiction, Paul.
Some people are addicted. I don't think most people are addicted to social media.
Absolutely not. I mean, I have friends in Marseille in France. I've seen them over the years and bumped into them. And
are they doom scrolling on their phones? Are they doom scrolling on their phones?
No. Most of them are probably older than.
Okay.
I mean, doom scrolling isn't completely valueless.
Paul, 6:30 p.m. You're on the top of a W7 between Finsbury Park and Muswell Hill, and everyone is either on Instagram or TikTok. What do you say to them?
I hope you're enjoying your time on Instagram and TikTok. You can get valuable information from Instagram and TikTok. I get a lot of news from social media that I would not get on from anywhere else.
And what do you do with that news, Paul?
Read it.
No, what do you
think about it? What do you mean? Think about it.
No, what do you do with it?
I don't understand what you mean. What do I do with the news?
The Strait of Hormuz is blocked because of some Trump Israeli bullshit. Ukraine and Russia and all that shit's kicking off. What do you do with that information?
I form opinions.
Who gives one living shit what you think?
What I do. I mean, the thing is, I learned on social media. I learned on social media today that Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz are probably two of the biggest crooks in the world right now, and they are both Democrat governors of American states.
What can you do with it?
I enjoy the story. Yeah, but what can I do?
Absolutely.
All right, let's say I sat on the bus and I read Shakespeare. What am I going to do with that?
What?
Let's say I was on the bus reading Shakespeare.
You're a bloody happier person and more informed and bloody learned about news.
If I was happy reading Shakespeare on the bus, I would read Shakespeare on the bus, but I choose not to. So why is reading Shakespeare...
Do you control the algorithm?
No.
Who controls the algorithm?
I don't know, some company somewhere.
Okay, what does the algorithm do?
It gives me my news feed.
Okay. Why does it show you what you see?
So I consume it.
What's the purpose of the algorithm?
To keep me engaged with the content.
Okay, good. At least we're on the same fucking page there.
Yeah, but why does Shakespeare write entertaining? Why doesn't Shakespeare write the same word 500 times? Because he wants us to engage with it. Okay. Is that a bad thing?
No one on W7 is reading Shakespeare.
No, I know, because they don't want to. But they could if they wanted to.
Bullshit. The algorithm's not, but Shakespeare's not engaged.
So you're saying if it wasn't for mobile, right, before the smartphone, Buses
I'm
weren't
already
full of
saying straight
people.
up, no one's sitting on the W7 before smartphones reading Shakespeare.
That's right. So it's not smartphones' fault they're not reading Shakespeare. So it's not because of the smartphone that people aren't reading Shakespeare on the bus. The reason they're not reading Shakespeare is they don't want to.
Okay, so why are the things appearing on people's phones, on Instagram and TikTok, on the W7, why are they appearing on their phones? What reason are they
Because the
appearing?
algorithm thinks that's what they want to see, so it delivers them content that they imagine they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my algorithm shows me stuff that I'm generally more interested. If it just showed me a load of random videos, then I'm going to be scrolling, not finding anything. So the algorithm tailors what it thinks I'm going to like and shows me that.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad thing.
No, that's right. I mean,
It is about
on YouTube, I mean, they know that I'm an elderly male. So.
I don't want to scroll through a miscellaneous hodgepodge of everything about everything on this planet.
The algorithm knows that anything that is contentious to your beliefs keeps you scrolling longer than anything else.
Well, no, sorry, like
proven.
I get lots of Nirvana songs on my feed. It's not because it's contentious. It's because it knows I like the band Nirvana.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always trying to.
That's another algorithm.
Yeah, I know, but it's good. I don't want to hear Leo Sayer. I want to hear Nirvana.
Yeah, but as soon as but that's got nothing to do with your political beliefs. I'm talking about your political beliefs.
Well, political beliefs.
Not your musical beliefs or your theatrical
but the
beliefs
thing is,
or spiritual beliefs.
We're not all at the
I'm talking about your
mercy.
political beliefs.
We're not all at the mercy of an algorithm for our political views. If I want to find a view that the algorithm's not going to show me, then I can find it. I can go onto CNN and listen to somebody who gives an alternative point of view than my algorithm's going to give me. We're not all.
No, the algorithm is built to ensure engagement, and to ensure engagement is to show you contentious issues in which you believe.
Yeah, and that's not bad.
And if you do not believe in something, they'll show it to you, so you get freaking angry.
And
you scroll till you find something you don't believe.
See what you do believe in and feed you the same.
Well, that's the bubble.
Yeah, but that's fine. Because we're not totally dependent on the algorithm for our content. Yeah. The algorithm is a bias. It's not a restriction.
Richard, how old are you?
87.
Okay, 87. I dare say I'm going to lean on the experience of an 87-year-old man. And Richard, I profusely apologise for bringing this up, yeah? And I hope you'll forgive me, yeah? I don't see your dad coming out of his room to seek alternatives to what he finds on YouTube.
Right. But you can find the alternatives on YouTube.
Huh?
You can find the alternatives on YouTube.
No, because if he wants to go to CNN, he can walk next door and put it up on the TV.
Yeah, but you can watch CNN on YouTube.
No.
How often do you watch CNN on YouTube?
What?
How often do you watch CNN on YouTube?
Oh.
Just general question. Forget what we've been talking about. I'm just asking generally. Because I've
but-
never
but-
seen a
but-
live
what's
streaming news network ever.
I've seen loads.
Ever.
I've seen loads.
I don't do it.
Oh yes, there's what channel? Yeah, no, I get a lot from YouTube. I select things I'm interested in, or I think are credible, and things that I don't like.
I watch CNN. I'm not left wing, but I watch Don Lemon on CNN. I watch George Galloway. He's a socialist. I watch people from different political
I'm not
backgrounds.
the right person to have this argument.
I had one of my friends from Windsor telling me that my opinion was because of an algorithm. He must assume I'm an idiot that just parrots the first thing that appears on my screen. He's a friend of mine.
Paul, you do realise that 4 companies import media into this country?
Yeah, but that's not because of the smartphone. That's just the news set.
No, I mean, like, literally, unless you see some guy at the event with a smartphone, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but in the old days, it's BBC or nothing.
News International. Yeah, you got Reuters. No, actually 3. You got BBC, News International, Reuters. They control 90% of the media that comes into this country.
Yeah, but I see a lot of Nick Shirley. I see a lot of citizen journalists on my newsfeed. We have because of social media, we have thousands.
You can see handheld journalism. Yeah.
We can see.
Yeah, Nick Shirley, the guy going after the
Minnesota Somali things.
Care thing,
yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
Citizen journalists, you'd never have got that on mainstream media.
No,
it's because of social
and
media.
Now brought out laws to stop him.
I know.
Yeah.
And see, this is something that is brilliant about social media. Without social media, you wouldn't have Nick Shirley. You'd have CNN, Fox News, and that would be your lot. And it used to be the case in Britain, you got the BBC. That was your news.
Yeah, but the problem is you've got like one Nick Shirley. It's just like a bit shit.
Well, you don't need 6 billion.
Nick Shirleys.
Well, look, I'm sure there are.
I bloody hope so.
Yeah, there are, but there would not even be one Nick. There wouldn't even be one if it wasn't for social media. Citizen journalism is one of the most valuable things to come out of social media, in my opinion. We have Nick Shirley has been in the White House talking to Donald Trump. He's a YouTuber. Joe Rogan was in the White House talking to Donald Trump.
Yeah. That's your point. One video amongst how many uploaded every day?
Doesn't matter.
Of mindless Minecraft bullshit.
That's there for people who want them.
If you find it's really bullshit, you try something else, and so you pick the ones you want. I mean, the George Galloway.
Thing is, it doesn't matter if you have things of value that you can find.
Great. They are fantastic.
It doesn't matter how many other stuff.
Drop in the pond.
Yeah, but when I go to a record shop, I don't need to like any other record other than the one I'm going in to buy. I don't care if a record shop is full of music I don't like. As long as it's got the stuff I need, I don't care.
Like any sort of shop, I mean, go to the same place, you buy things that you want.
No, if you want a red shirt and you go into a shop that's got the shirt you need, do you care what else they're selling?
It's all selfish.
It's not selfish. It's going after what you want.
The people around you in society or not?
Yes.
Okay, how is buying a red shirt doing that?
Well, because there'll be other stuff that other people like. If I want a red shirt, I'll go and buy the red shirt. If somebody else wants a blue shirt, they'll go in and buy the blue shirt.
Exactly.
I don't. As long as I've got the red shirt in there, I'll go in there and I'll get value out of that shop.
Exactly.
It's just you, though.
Yeah, but what can we do? I can't cater for other people.
No.
I can't read a book for another person. I can only consume what I consume. No, what I was doing, I was comparing the smartphone to the book. If we're saying that smartphones are harmful, I'm saying, well, it's just saying with a book, right? I read the content I consume. I don't consume the content other people consume, whether it's on a smartphone, in a shop, or in a book.
You consume whatever the algorithm presents you.
No, that's right. We are not slaves to algorithms. So you're saying that I've never found. You're saying that I've never watched anything.
I choose what I want.
Yes.
The algorithm does not provide.
No. No. This is the. It's not.
Fuck off.
You seem to need things.
No. Shut up. Right. Shut the fuck up. All right. You two can shut up right now. Because what you're saying is,
yes.
I search for a video.
Yeah.
Watch the video I'm searching for, and when I'm finished with the video I have found, I then research for another video.
No,
that's
Arthur.
Bullshit.
Arthur.
Bullshit.
You need
bullshit.
Arthur.
You guys do what everyone else does. You watch something and then you find other things that are presented to you by the algorithm in the right-hand column. That's the way the fucking world works. And everything else is bullshit.
You need things.
Present your case. I'll knock yourself out. Absolutely.
If you would stop talking.
Come on. Lay it on. Please. I type it in, I look at it, I click it, and I type something else in because I'm so fucking low. Shut up. You're just like idiots like the rest of us.
You seem to only think there are two possibilities.
There's one possibility.
Arthur, will you stop talking for 1 minute?
The algorithm.
Stop talking. You seem to think that we are either independently searching exclusive for our content and getting that content. This is based on what you've just said. Or the only alternative to that is to be only...
Scroll and click.
Will you stop finishing my sentences? The only alternative to that you've just described is the situation where we are only consuming what the algorithm gives us.
Yeah.
Neither of those two things are exclusively what happens, Arthur. There is a world of things happening in between those two extremes. You seem to only consider the two extremes as the only two possibilities, which
I
is
got
why you're
up on the
talking.
W7. I looked down upon 47 seats, and they're all fucking scrolling.
Yeah, but Arthur, that doesn't contest anything I've just said.
Well, if you can get a bigger sample size, I'm willing to hear
It's
it.
got nothing to do with what I've just said,
Bollocks.
Arthur. You are talking complete nonsense. People will get a mixture of what the algorithm suggests and what they choose from their own gumption. It won't be all one or all the other. Do you accept that?
No.
Right, this is the thing. Arthur's just perfectly done. Don't interrupt, Dad, please. Arthur's just said that he does.
Let me just clarify. I categorically reject that.
Right, that's fine, Arthur. So you are saying that we do not get a mixture of the algorithm and what we want to find. It's either we only watch what we look for and nothing else, or we only watch what the algorithm gives us.
Yeah, can I delimit that?
That is total nonsense.
Can I delimit that?
You can do what you want.
Okay, I just want to say that there's a very narrow proportion of people on this planet that head to social media with something in mind that they want to find. They search it out and they get it and they retrieve it from the ether and then show it to support their standpoint to their peers, yeah? And that is a vanishingly small amount of people. The majority of people scroll. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, Arthur, that can be true, but also not true that we only
That can
get...
be true, but also not true.
No,
What are you talking about, Paul?
If you would stop butting into my sentences when I'm
No,
halfway...
dude, you can't say it's true and
Arthur,
not true.
Because you butt in, as always, when I'm halfway through a sentence. That can be true, but also not true that you only get that kind of content and there's no combination. Do you see what I mean? No. I can go on to... All right, okay.
Utterly not, mate.
Okay. You see, you seem to only be able to see things in binary terms, and this is what I don't understand. I can go onto my phone now, and I can have absolutely no idea what I want to watch. So I'll go on there. First thing it suggests, Nirvana Live 1991.
Who gives you what you want to watch?
The algorithm gives me a starting point.
Yeah.
Right, the starting point.
You scroll down.
Now, I can go, oh, yeah, I've seen that video. You know what I want to watch? I want to watch Barry Manilow, 1974. That just came into my head. Wasn't the algorithm. It was something I suggested. Now, I didn't go onto my phone thinking, I'm going to watch Barry Manilow, 1974. You can have the medians. You can have the bits in between, Arthur. We're not all total slaves to algorithms, and we're not only getting certain content that we aggressively look for.
Richard, excuse this imposition. What year were you born?
38.
38. 75?
77.
77, okay. Do you think anyone on the W7 is fucking younger or the same age than I am?
Yeah.
On anyone
on the W7 from Finsbury Park.
No on W7.
I hate to okay, this is my sample size and I do apologise.
Right.
It seems to be the W7 from Finsbury Park to Muswell Hill because I get on top of the bus and I'm just perplexed at the lack of social interaction and the infinite scrolling.
Yeah.
So this seems to be my point of reference here. When I get up there, no, I'm not a good sample size, yeah. And the fact that we're having this conversation, I am not a good sample size, yeah. And the fact that we're intelligently having between us this conversation is we are not a good sample size. What I'm saying is, I can get up on the back left-hand corner seat of a W7, if anyone wants to come and say hi, and I can look upon another 47 seats, and all of them are on 2 social media platforms, TikTok and Instagram, and none of them have arrived at those platforms with a thought in mind of where they want to go when they're on that platform.
How do you know this?
All they want is a break and a slight pause between where they are and where they're going to.
After
And
this
I
is
know
all
this.
your projection onto
No,
them.
I know this because I've got up, Paul, and you're more than welcome to join me. Do you want to come meet me?
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's go and have a look. Yeah. High five. Let's go and have a look. Yeah. Because I freaking hate that. I prefer the 102. Yeah. But anyway, we'll do the W7 one night. Yeah. Okay. We'll meet up at Finsbury Park and we'll get on and we'll
This would be good. This would be a good podcast. The
It'd be good.
W7
But
podcast.
look, and I can tell you because what they don't do is they don't, after watching something, go to the search bar.
Now,
I
Arthur,
can look
you are not
down the
supervising.
length of a double-decker bus, Paul, and I can see all of them flicking through whatever the algorithm provides.
Arthur,
Well,
this
well,
cannot
They
be
are
true.
not
See
choosing
that.
what they watch, okay?
On the buses or on the tube.
This
I
cannot be
don't
true,
touch
Arthur.
Now,
my
on the
mobile
tube, I
phone.
don't know. And on the tube, I think it's also cancerous because before they had internet on the Piccadilly, people read on the Piccadilly or just took a moment,
I do
inhaled to realise that they were between 2 points of connectivity
Arthur, you
and could
cannot be-
actually enjoy that time of no fucking connection. But Paul, okay, look, I tell you what, let's do the W7 challenge. I declare on this podcast, Paul and I will do the W7 challenge, yeah?
Why not? We'll make it part of the podcast. We've got to record it, otherwise
Well,
there's no point.
look, let's just go and do it.
Oh, I'm
We'll
not
come back with
wasting my
results.
time. I'm not going. I'm not investing that. amount
Oh,
of time.
here we go. Here we go.
If we record
yeah,
it-
he'll propose a different Burberry product, but he won't go and actually implement it, yeah?
Arthur,
Come
this-
and actually...
I'm
if you
a sole
believe in it,
trader,
Paul.
Arthur. I don't have a salary dropped into my account every month.
Mate, I'll
I
drop
don't
you
have this much
£3.20
time.
to get down there.
That's very
I
kind
will
of you.
actually pay you to come and join me. Yeah?
Arthur, if
Because
we
I would love
record
us
it,
to
I'll
both,
do it.
meet me, Finsbury Park, we'll get to the top of the W7 and we'll look down the length of the carriage and we'll see what's going on and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And look,
Arthur,
This
I'm
is
a
why-
busy man, Arthur. You know what I mean? I'll record it and it'll be a nice podcast.
yeah, but
Otherwise,
Paul,
it ain't
let's
worth
be
the
honest,
time.
yeah? You and I are both in the search of truth, okay? So I will not lie. You will not lie. I implicitly trust you. You implicitly trust me. So when we go and view that and we come back here to discuss it, we will end up on a consensus because we both seek truth in what we talk about. Yeah.
Arthur, it's a nice idea, but like I say, I'm a busy man. I've got more important things to do with my time. I'll take your word for it.
I
But
can do nothing more than extend the hand of friendship.
yeah, you did. Now, Arthur, the 47 people on the bus who you are supervising, incredibly detailed.
I'm supervising them, Paul.
You are
I'm
because
supervising.
yeah, because
How
you're
the fuck am I supervising?
because
Paul?
you know.
Wait, no, English language is very, very important. It represents what it's an interpret. Our language is an interpretation of reality. I'm not supervising 47 people. I get up and look.
observing them.
Thank you.
Can I say it right? These 47 people on a bus, you've observed that all 47 of them are either watching Instagram or TikTok and no other website.
On their mobile phone.
Obviously, Dad. Not on their PC. Right? So then there's no Facebook. No one on W7 watches Facebook. No one on W7 watches BBC News. They
Now,
are
look,
all
you
exclusively...
know, Paul, as well as I do, I can't see to the end of the freaking bus.
Right, now, I understand that, but can you see 50% of the screens? Can you see 23 of the screens and
I'd say
confirm?
50%.
Right, so
I'll
you're
go for
telling me,
50%.
you're saying half the screens
Yes.
are either Instagram or TikTok, and not only that, but these, let's say
Richard.
half of them,
Where are you off?
you're just locking a door. And these
Don't
half of them
disappear. You're
don't
a valued
go-
member of this conversation.
don't go from Instagram or TikTok to an outside website of their own volition. They are all being controlled 100% by the algorithm and what they look.
Just say that again. Because like I was thinking something else.
All the 23 odd people that you watch on the bus, who are all of them on either Instagram or TikTok, never any other website, are also only watching that content. They're not going from that content to watch something else. You have witnessed that, have you?
Yeah.
You've witnessed that.
Yeah, like it's scrolling.
Right.
It's scrolling. There's no, and I will prefix this.
Yeah.
By stipulating that if it's very obvious, okay. There's a great book that you should read called "The 4 Arguments for the Elimination of Television" by Jerry Mander. Okay? Gerrymander. What?
Gerrymandering. It's a fake name.
Yeah.
What?
Gerrymandering.
Gerrymander.
Oh,
It's
I
a
never
joke
heard
name.
that.
Gerrymandering.
Oh,
It's when
okay.
they change the boundaries to make a certain political outcome.
No shit. So that's why you get. Yeah, they do that with zoning laws, don't they? In America, they do zoning laws, so then they got votes in certain regions.
That's called gerrymandering.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit.
fiddling it,
Wow,
yeah.
no way.
Because it was I think the name of the person was Jerry, and it looked like a salamander. Because he
What the hell's a salamander? I mean, I hate to be
I know, it's a strange...
salamander.
yeah.
What is a salamander?
It's
like
reptile.
A big lizard.
A lizard.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I
So we
don't
get
know.
the term gerrymandering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's funny that some author...
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
anyway.
this guy's called Gerrymander. He wrote 2 books that and the second one I can't quite bring myself to finish because it just hits too close to home, to be quite honest. Yeah, the first one I have read is 4 Arguments for Television. The guy subsequently disappeared up into the Canadian tundra, and you can find the occasional audio interview, but he does not do any other interviews, yeah? And then he's got another one called Absence of the Sacred and the Native Americans' Failure with Technology, yeah? So, Gerrymander was a... every time I say it now, I'm going to think of that.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Paul. Fuck's sake. I'm just going to think, every time I say Gerrymander, he sounds like a fake guy. Right, okay.
Oh, wow.
Gerrymander, he was a guy in New York. He worked in advertising. He was very good. He worked for various advertising companies in New York, achieved the absolute epitome of advertising in the 70s, was the highest paid advertising executive you could find, yeah. He reached the top of the ladder. He got to the freaking mountain. He did the Everest. He got there, he assessed his environment and goes, right, done it. You know, what do I do now? And he looked around and he goes, do you know what? Same as get me now. Why can't I remember his name? Anyway, same as the guy from World War II. He said, what can I do with my powers? With my understanding of advertising. I can basically manipulate anyone into buying anything, but I now am beyond the wealth that I need.
Mm.
Yeah. So how can I use what I've learned for other people? Yeah. The problem is you've got me now stuck on the guy that Walter Lippmann.
Yeah.
So Walter Lippmann did,
Walter Lippmann.
Yeah, Walter Lippmann. Yeah, he did the best. So Walter Lippmann. This leads to gerrymander. Yeah, Walter Lippmann did. He was head of propaganda for the U.S. Army. Yeah, and he helped get the U.S. Army invest in the Second World War because the U.S. were like, what the fuck do we care? Europe are kicking off. Why the fuck should we get involved? Walter Lippmann managed to turn the U.S. to actually realise that if Germany overpowered Europe, then they're going for the US next, so therefore we should get involved. And he did that through the power of propaganda. Now
I think the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor also.
Yeah, also instigated it as well, yeah. But he managed to get them involved in the Second World War and probably used that to his advantage, yeah? But he, through propaganda, got the American public to be on board into getting involved in the Second World War, yeah? Now, Second World War finishes, there's no more war going on, Walter Lippmann hasn't got a job, so Walter Lippmann's goes like, fucked here, I've got no money, I need money, and then, so he starts thinking, wait a minute, okay, I've got a set of skills that were useful during wartime, but they're also useful during peacetime. Because I can it doesn't matter whether it's war or peace, I can still manipulate the public. So he goes, right, I'm going to start a company, yeah? Start a company, and then I'm going to go around, find clients, and I'm going to go, look, oi, whatever you need, I can manipulate the public, yeah? So, BAT, British American Tobacco, they come along and go, look, dude, you've got a bit of a problem. And he goes, what's your problem? Tell me, I can solve it. And he goes, well, it's mainly dudes, it's mainly guys that smoke, yeah? Got 50% of the population smoking, but it'd be really good if everybody smoked. Can we get everybody to smoke? Walter Lippmann, can you get everybody to smoke? And Walter Lippmann goes, don't worry, dude, got you covered, yeah? Turns out, Walter Lippmann's also doing a sideline with Vogue, knows every single supermodel on Vogue's catalogue, yeah? And goes, what we need to do is we need to get women to smoke, but it's not socially acceptable for women to smoke. Now, this arrives at the same time as the suffragette movement. So what he does, he tells I'll tell you what, $500 for each of you, yeah, here you go, you now work for me, yeah, here you go. Right, we got the parade in New York happening, okay, I want you, and he gives them the precise location on the parade route where they should be, and he gets them, and he says, when the flotilla comes past, I want you to light a cigarette. And they're like, that's all for $500? Sweet, not a problem. I got you covered, Walter. So all these incredibly good-looking women from Vogue on the various states of the parade route, the positions they were on the parade route as the flotilla goes by and they were lighting up was directly opposite the national photographers. So when the national photographers took a picture of the flotilla going past, going, it's National Parade Day and stuff, there's a woman in the background smoking a cigarette. And they're like, well, hello, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on? There's a woman smoking a cigarette, yeah? So they're like, wait, no, women don't smoke. What the shit? Who's she? What's going on? Oh, she's a model. Right, who's the agent? Oh, agent's Walter Lippmann. Walter Lippmann, you do know one of your models is smoking. And he goes, oh, well, I don't control these women. I don't tell them what to do, yeah? But they're aligning, same time as the suffragette movement, they're aligning themselves with the suffragette movement. And they're showing their protest at the fact that women are not fully active in society, yeah? And they're doing this by smoking a cigarette. And he coined the term lighting a torch for freedom. Who can turn that away? Jesus. So he came up with that. And then this leads now into, what was it? The gerrymander. Yeah, so the other one of the guys led in gerrymander. So he did the 4 arguments for television, but he also did the absence of the sacred, which is great. But the 4 arguments of television is about the, and everybody should read this, because it's irrelevant. It applies to the flat screen device. Is irrelevant whether it's cathode ray tube flat screen. Is the fact it's a low resolution medium to communicate human contact. Hence and I'm repeating myself, I do know this, but I'm a bottle of wine and 4 drinks down at this point. So it's wait, give me a second. It communicates, I can see you. You can go outside that door. You can be far away. I can see you, and I can explicitly see your approval, disapproval, agreement, sadness, depression, whatever. I can see it on your face through that door. That cannot be expressed through the medium of television or the medium of camera. I need 3 shots. I need a distance shot to set the environment where we are, which I don't need as human. I also need a medium shot to stage the situation between you and your subject, and then I need the close-up to express your actual facial interactions and your agreement or disagreement to the situation, or whatever it may be, yeah? And then, so that's one. That's one. Great, put to one side. The other one is, if I love you, yeah, and I want to spend time with you, and I enjoy your company, and we are 2 lovers, yeah, so we're now on to stage 2A. If I fucking hate you, and we're kicking off, and we're having a proper Barney, and limbs are thrown all over the place, that's 2B. It's been well shown that you're not going to watch the 2 lovers kissing and snoozing, getting along, and forming a relationship. You're going to watch the 2 people kicking off and having a problem. So, what
gerrymander
proved through the 4 arguments of TV is the actual medium itself. And you've got to remember, this is preset by the guy that coined the term the village idiot, and I forget his term because I've got his book as well. But if you gave the two, and you know who had this problem is Myanmar. So Myanmar is what there's a lot of TV studies done using Myanmar, which is called the land of the Thunder Dragon. A very high up population, the last people to receive TV.
Isn't this Bhutan?
Bhutan, exactly,
Bhutan
exactly. It's a great place to do the study of the ramifications of TV because there exists evidence before the introduction of TV, so they can do what is the effect of. And Bhutan has a great national channel on the treasures and cultures of Bhutan. They also have MTV. What do you think Bhutanese are watching?
MTV.
Because they ain't fucking the local... Yeah, exactly. Because the medium itself is predisposed, from what Gerrymander found in the 4 arguments to be, is to conflict. And the reason it's predisposed to conflict is because, Paul, if I am angry at you, yeah, there is no way of misconstruing my anger towards you, yeah? Now, there's 2 ways of that not being misconstrued. There's one in my facial features. They cannot be misinterpreted, yeah? It's very obvious I'm fucking angry with you, okay? And the other one is the general posture, yeah, and things. And before a situation arises, there seems to be a lot of animation, yeah? And the medium itself is predisposed to animation, yeah? It's not predisposed to quiet, contemplative, intimate, and intimate environments. It's predisposed to standoff, conflict, animation, and I can't think of the
Okay.
where 2 bodies come together in conflict, yeah, like a standoff. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is the medium itself is predisposed to conflict because it is easier to communicate through the device conflict than it is intimacy or any positive aspect of humanity.
Okay, fine. So
that was the wrong explanation.
That's all right. I get your point. But it doesn't have to be good at everything. When I go to a boxing match, I'm going because I want something that's violent and entertaining. If I go to watch Romeo and Juliet at the theatre, it's because I want something different. That's not criticism of either of those things, that they don't do everything. It just means they're different tools for a different job.
They're not tools, they're different situations.
Tool situation. What I mean is, if I'm in one mood, I will go to the boxing match. If I want something else, I'll go and see Romeo and Juliet. They don't have to do everything. The phone doesn't have to offer all experiences. It can just be predominantly for conflict.
I completely agree. A phone is a very poor replacement for real experience.
Yeah, it is. But we know that. But the same as a book, right? A book,
yes, a book is boring, you know.
Yeah, and a disco. If I want to be, I don't know, educating my brain, I'm not going to go to a disco. I'm going to read a book or watch a television program.
There's a famous Greek whose name I can't recount that said a book is when you talk to no one. And he goes, why would you not? Because when the written word came around during the time of the Greeks, they were appalled by you can't write a book because it's literally you talking to no one. They were used to oratory, that you would stand up in front of an audience and you would taper your presentation to that audience. That was their standard. And then when the written word came along, it's like, how can you write to no one? They're not even there. They're not even present.
Yeah, exactly. Because
at the time
before they had any other method of recording anything. It was useful for the purpose of recording. So things are good for different things. Now, the flat screen, whether it's a television or a smartphone, they are good at certain things, but they're not good at everything. So you don't use it for everything. If I want intimacy with a human being, I go to a human being. I don't go to a television.
Where does that exist now in common culture?
In English culture, I agree with you. It's under catered for. It's not catered for. We live very isolated lives because I think that's what society.
Obliterated.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
on the same track.
Yeah, but the thing, I wouldn't call this a criticism of the television. I don't think that's a criticism of smartphones.
Well, what I'm trying to say, Paul, is what I think is relevant. The evidence that Jerry Mander presents in the 4 arguments for television leaves to me is unequivocal that the device better communicates negativity than it does positivity. Because people are waiting for shit to happen, and when shit doesn't happen, they don't like it.
Maybe that's the case broadly to
like
the
how
entire
many times
population.
Have you watch The Sound of Music on your mobile phone? It just doesn't happen.
No, but I don't watch fighting either on my mobile phone. I don't watch people arguing on my mobile phone.
Yeah, but when's the last time you've watched something contemplative and deep on your mobile phone?
Well, hardcore music. Like watching Nirvana concert for me is contemplative and meaningful,
I'm not asking that specifically like a running water or, like there's some guy that's done 12 hours of silence. It's just mental.
Yeah, I use it for background noise when I go to bed, but no, I mean, but it's what I want, I use it for what I need, and if I have different needs, I use it for different things. But it's flexible. A phone is flexible to a certain extent.
Yes, that's because we have. Well, I certainly have very different needs for a phone than you or anyone of your generation.
I mean, I think social media is a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, but I would say 75% good, 25% bad. Social media, and the 25% bad is mostly taken up by kids.
25% bad. Give me 75% good.
Okay,
fascinating to hear.
Banking. If I want to know what's
That's
in my
not
bank,
social bloody media, mate.
Oh, social media. All right. Promoting my artwork, getting it out there to people.
Yeah, but one, that's a thing you do with it.
Yeah.
So that's you.
Yeah.
And secondly, you are you're in your 50s like me.
Yeah. Nearly.
Yeah.
I'm 49.
No. So there's a quab. Yeah. And we are the last of a generation that grew up without the internet.
Yeah.
So we have resolve. We're not
if I had the internet earlier, I would like to think I'd have progressed a lot more.
Oh, Paul, come on. Really? If rewind 30 years, I'd be addicted. I'd be liking and reposting, and I'd be just mindlessly scrolling that crap.
Yeah, but I don't see what I put meaningful content online.
One-armed bandit of hope.
Well, it depends. Right, first of all, are you in the audience or are you on stage? If you're in the audience, then you are just going to get a more varied form of entertainment. If you are like what I am on the stage, I'm putting stuff on there.
So you're the difference between creator and consumer.
Most of my time on social media is centred around my posts and my content more than consuming other people's. Now, it's very valuable to me to have social media in order to put my content out there.
1% of people on social media are creators, so you're already in the 1%.
Right. Okay. So I'm not only a creator.
Back to W7.
Looking at it, well, I'm also a consumer. Like I say, I do watch other people's content, and I find it.
Yeah, but you're 50 and you're the 75 or what? The 74, 76.
77.
77.
Mm-hmm.
So you're between 75 and 80 is the last generation that did not grow up with internet. So we grew up with some kind of people clipping us behind the ear and getting our heads and going learn it, doing that kind of stuff, and imbuing upon us the fact that we needed to concentrate on a subject matter to master it.
But I think my education, when I look back at it, was so narrow because I didn't have the internet.
I thought you were going to stop at so narrow.
Well, it was very narrow, but it would not have been narrow if I'd had the internet. I know so much more now that I wouldn't have known without the internet, and if I'd have known that a lot younger.
We're going to have to carry this on.